If somebody asked me if I'd like a table lamp as a gift, I'd probably say no. If I got one, I'd be appreciative. Thank you for the thought. But if I knew it was going to be a table lamp like this, I'd probably get way more excited. This is the Govee Table Lamp 2 Pro with JBL sound. This thing can do a ton of stuff. Super customizable, decent sound. I'll get into that later. Super customizable, great lighting effects, plenty of brightness. You can do anything from crazy lights to react to music to just a solid warm glow to put by your bedside. I love this thing, super cool. We're gonna cover the design, we're gonna cover the sound, we're gonna cover all the features you can do with it, some things I think could be better, and yeah, see if this is one for you. Stick around.
Okay, let's go.
Hi, it's Chris with Gadgets and Gravel. So I've covered a lot of Govee products in the past. This is not their first table lamp, and this is not the first lighting product I've checked out from Govee. You wanna see, I'll put a link somewhere, over here somewhere, for my review of the Govee Skyline light strip. It's a crazy cool product, so I've checked that one out. But like that light strip product, this thing is incredible. It has got a ton of lighting effects you can do with it. Super customizable. It's a really, really cool product. So let's kind of get into the design and some of the things that Govee did with this that really makes this thing stand out. So as you can see, we've got a cylinder. I don't know, maybe if you're familiar with the old school Mac trash can computer, kind of like that. So we're a little over 7¼ inches round, a little over 13¼ inches tall. Wholly made out of plastic, really light. The only thing that really makes this heavy, it's not the speaker up top. That is a 2.5-inch speaker, mid and high range. They call it full, but it really isn't getting much bass out of that thing. Up top, it's actually in the bottom because that is where the 5200 milliamp hour battery sits. So as you can tell, you know, we're not plugged in right now. So with that, Govee says at 50% brightness and 50% volume, you can get about 4.5 hours of use out of this. Obviously, depending on, you know, the type of light you're using, if it's, you know, one with a lot of activity, a lot of movement in it, and you're using a song that has a lot of bass, all you can pump out of this, it's gonna use a little more energy, so it may go a little bit quicker, but obviously you could always turn off, there's a bottom light around here that kind of helps light this up down here. You can turn that off, save some battery, turn off all the lights if you just want speaker, vice versa. So your mileage may vary depending on the battery life with this, but I do really appreciate that it has that in there. As far as when you do have it plugged up, it's just a barrel plug on the bottom, nothing fancy. It is attached to a big old wall wart plug-in thing to the wall, but you know, USB-C would be cool, but it's all right. That's what we got. Like I said, this is fully made out of plastic. You do have a rubber feet on the bottom to help it from sliding around, to help with any vibrations from sound from kind of transferring through. Clear plastic on the bottom with a kind of a chrome-like silver thing on the inside to kind of help with some of the light reflect out from the light ring that's above it. Kind of a silver grayish plastic ring here. We got our opaque white clear-ish plastic here. And then up top, we got more of that silvery kind of plastic stuff up top. So on top, in terms of buttons, we don't have many. We got one physical power button they use to turn it off and on with that. And then the other 4 are gonna be capacitive buttons. So we've got a preset button, which I'll talk a little bit more about in the app, but you can use it to change through some lighting effects that you can customize within the app that you want on here. We've got a volume down, volume up, and play pause for the speaker part. There is also a microphone up top because that is used for reacting to music. So if you're playing music on your phone or in your room or whatever, the microphone on this can take that sound and then put it into the lights and have them react to the music. So it's kind of cool. Other than that, like, that's it. That's our design. That's the part of it, right? Oh, the lights. Other thing about the lights. So we got 210 individual LEDs in here. That's really how Govee's able to get such smooth and transitional lights in here that blend seamlessly, is because they've got 210 LED lights in here. That's a ton for this little space. You get a maximum of 600 lumens. That's if you're running on a cool white light. That's the brightest you're gonna get there. Outside of that, it's still plenty bright. It's not gonna light up an entire room, so you can, you know, sit there and, you know, read a book or something like that. If it's sitting right beside you, you're good. Across the room, it's probably not gonna cut it. This is more of an ambient light, just kind of add some glow to the room. It's a really cool little product here. The LEDs that we're using here, they're RGB WW plus RGB IC. So what all that stands for is, so RGB is our red, green, blue. Then we've got warm white and a cool white LEDs in here. So we have individual LEDs. So there's 5 different LED types on each little section here, which is how we're able to get the precise whites and great color variations, you know, full spectrum of colors, 16 million plus whatever colors we got out there. All you're gonna get right here. The RGB IC means we get individual controls of each LED across the whole strip. So old school LED strips, if you wanted it red, it's all red. You can't make it red and green and blue and whatever colors all at one time. It's individual. So with this RGB IC, we're able to get all these colors going on at once. It's really cool. Govee's done a great job utilizing that technology over the years. RGB IC, RGB WW on the bottom light as well to control the light down here. You can control these individually, which is really neat. But yeah, that's our hardware. That's what we got physically here. So let's move on to the app. Govee's been making smart lights for a long time. And so they've got a lot of technology wrapped up in this and got it really well figured out. Before we jump into the app, I want to talk about some of the connectivity things we've got with this. So this, while it does have a speaker and a microphone, it is not a smart speaker. So you're not going to be able to talk to your Google Assistant or Alexa or Siri or any of those things. Those don't connect to those services. It will connect to Google Home and Amazon Alexa and things like that if you want to add it to there to control the light and stuff from that app. So you can connect this light to it with the Govee service using the Alexa skill or works with Google platforms. But it also does have Matter. So this is also compatible with Matter devices. So that's, if you're unfamiliar, is a smart home protocol standard that has been getting developed for a while that has involved Apple and Google and Amazon and many other massive companies out there working together to create a unified standard so that you can buy something and it will work with any platform that you use, regardless whether its app is quote certified to connect with them. So it's really nice. However, while that is good, if you do choose to use Matter as your controlling device, you're going to be severely limited on what you can do with this light. And this is not an issue because of Govee or whatever platform you want to connect it to. It is strictly an issue or a development process that they're behind in with the Matter protocol. So all you'll basically be able to get is on, off, and maybe change some colors, and that's about it. So if you want to really have full control over this, definitely use the Govee app, and that's going to get you everything. We've got Bluetooth, we got Wi-Fi, 2.4 gigahertz in it, and yeah, those are connectivity. Ooh, you can connect it to your another device. So if you've got 2 of these two will pair together and you can have stereo sound. So that works really cool. This also will work with DreamView, which is a platform, kind of a program within the Govee app where this can be your controller and it will link up with all the other Govee products in your home. And so if you're listening to music and this is reacting music, it will then tell those other lights what to do and how to react. So you can get a really big, kind of cool light show going on. So that's some of the really fun stuff with that. But let's jump into the app. Let me scooch over here a little bit so we can put the app over here beside us. So move this a little bit. There we go. All right. So over the app, it is a very full-featured app. You've got a lot of stuff going on in the app, both good and bad. There's tons of stuff. Customizing, there's a community in there, there's help, there's a store, you can go buy more Govee products. There's a ton of stuff in the app, and it's grown so quickly, and it hasn't had a real redesign in a long time. So personally, I think it's a little cluttered and a little bit difficult to navigate around certain features, and especially with so many different names of different features within the app, it can get kind of confusing. But once you get it figured out, it's pretty easy, especially if you're working with an individual device. So adding this, if you don't have a Govee account, you're going to set up a Govee account, get it all set up. You're going to click on the add device. It'll walk you through that process. Pretty simple to do. Once you are in, it is time to start playing with your device, getting your lamp set up the way you want it. So you've got just a color section. So under colors, you can drag the slider. If you want different shade, different colors, temperatures of white, warm white, cool white, you can do all that. Individual, just quick touches to go to single colors. Presets, you can add some presets in here if you would like to. You can also come down and use the little slider down here and play with colors and get what you want there and then save it. Pretty cool. Scenes, we'll get in that in a second. Let's go to DIY. So DIY, in here, you can literally just create your entire own scene that you want. Pick the effect that you want, how you want it to look. Then you go in and start adjusting the colors to however you want it to look. Like I said, they'll give you recommended color palettes. You can choose from those. You can have it kind of automatically pick them for you if you'd like. You can even have it play a white noise. They got a whole library in here you can go through and set that up too, save it to your profile that you like. Finger sketch is really fun. It's another kind of DIY situation. You get to go in and choose the effect and how it's going to move across the lamp, how fast it's going to go, and then you literally just draw on the little pixelated deal. Draw all the shapes, the designs, the dots, whatever you choose to do, whatever colors you want, and save it, and it moves on. You get to customize both this part and the lower light section, so it's kind of nice. You get to affect both of those. AI is an interesting one. In the AI, you can tell it just literally by voice or by typing in what you want it to do. If you're wanting your favorite team, I don't know, might be the Kansas City Chiefs. If you say, give me a red and yellow alternating color stripes circling around the light, it'll do that for you. You can even upload a picture that you want. So you can kind of see in the app here, they got like a sunset kind of picture. You could upload a picture and they will turn that into a light scene for you, which you can save and move, keep it for yourself. So that's really cool. Share space is where you can go and find other people's designs and effects that they've created. So when you create something, if you really like it, you can upload it and others can have it on their light as well. So it's really neat. So scenes. This is where things get fun. So Govee has got a ton of scenes. They've got over 100 scenes combining the different like preset scenes that they have, which is what they call the stuff that goes on the lights and moves around the lamp and stuff like that. There's like 64 of those or something like that. And there's a ton of, then there's, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, something like that in the music. So there's a ton of lighting sections in here. Plus, not to mention, you can customize it, create whatever you want, and go check out the community, what they create. But their presets are pretty cool. So in here, so you can see they've got a little music note on it. Let me turn that on here. So the ones that have a little music note means it has an accompanying white noise sound that goes with it. It could be rain, it could be music, it could be a few different things. So once you turn it on and you select a scene that has that, the music starts playing. You can control the volume of it. I'll be quiet so you can hear this a little bit. So this is the one they put forest. So you can get rid of that. So like you can see in here, you can go in and turn it off so that if you want just the scene, you like the way it looks, you can go in and select that. Don't have to listen to the sounds if that's not something you want to do. Yeah, so we'll kind of click through some of the scenes. So I'm not going to go through a whole lot of it here. I'll drop some video in of kind of the different scenes and different ways that the different lighting styles look across it. So I'll show you that. I'll drop in some proper video for that. So you got tons of scenes in there. For the illumination, that is where you're gonna go in and set your preset just single color temperatures. So this is gonna be your whites. This is where that RGB WW comes in handy. So you can set your presets, whether you want, this one says reading, you got work. You can adjust when you also create your own, so you can set the temperatures, how white or cool or warm it is, and as well as the brightness, and then set that preset for your own preferences. Jumping into music. So this part's really cool. So we got the microphone up top. That is, if you're playing music, whether it's through the speaker itself or through a stereo in your home and just want this to react to it, that microphone is what will pick up that sound and then do the thing it's gonna do. It will react to, obviously, just voice. So as I'm sitting here talking, it'll pick up there. You can also switch it so that if you're gonna be playing music somewhere else in the house, or you don't think it's gonna be able to be heard by the speaker very well, you can tell it to use your phone's microphone, and then the speaker will react based on the sounds your phone is picking up. So you can select your different features here. I'll drop some video in for that as well. But these are just some really cool effects. They got more in, they've got some different effects in here. And again, you can create your own in this as well. So you can create your own scene and then have it react based on music if that's something you want to do. So kind of cool. And that's the app. I mean, there's a lot going on in here. They have different phrases for different things that sometimes makes sense and sometimes doesn't. So that's why Portable can be kind of confusing, especially when things move around frequently. In the other functions, you also have timers, so you can go in and create a timer for it. So if you want to stay on for a couple hours and shut off, you can do that. Autoplay, turn it on and off on different parts of the day. So tons of stuff in their app. Dive in, just explore it, see what all they've got going on in there. That is the app and the technology behind this thing. So let's get into some of the things I think that Govee could have done differently to really push this over the edge and really make it earn that $180 price tag. Stick around. Govee's Table Amp 2 Pro with JBL sound, it's a cool product. It's really neat. At 180 bucks, it really needs to nail everything, at least in my opinion. I mean, that's a lot of money for a table lamp. Yes, has a speaker in it, but it needs to nail everything to really earn that. And it almost does. It almost does. So there's a few things that I don't really like about it. Let me dig into these. Some of these are the product themselves. Some of these are kind of software related things. Start with the hardware. So it's all made out of plastic. I don't care. That's fine. It helps with keeping it light and things like that. I'm all for that. The plastics used on here, the clear plastic here, the shiny chrome-like plastic inside looks great. Great job there. But it's the top part of this ring here. It's like a matte silver gray plastic. And it isn't as bad on the ring around the midsection. It's on top. It really just, to me, looks cheap plasticky. I'd rather it have been make it white or black or something different. I don't want it to be shiny because then you got fingerprints all over it. I just think that this could have been done better. That's my opinion on that part of it. The other part is, from a hardware standpoint, is I wish with the JBL sound, I was really expecting like a full sound speaker, like a real Bluetooth speaker with great lights. Like that's what I was really hoping for. And it doesn't hit that for me. I don't even seen some lights and speakers out there have kind of this clear look on the bottom with this kind of flared bottom on it, and the inside looks inside and the clear with the match with the shiny silver and all stuff looks really cool. And I was hoping that this was going to be a downward facing speaker with some bass to it and have a radiator down here to give a more full complete sound, and that isn't what this is. It just looks cool and it helps. The clear part and the shiny part helps with the light diffusion across the bottom ring coming out. Outside of that, it's strictly aesthetics. So I was a little disappointed there because the speaker up top, it does okay. It is, like I said, it's a 2.5-inch speaker, full range. You got a 500cc chamber inside for helping sound distribution. But it's really highs and mids is what you're gonna get out of this. I took it to a volleyball game to play last week and took it with me there to see how it would do in a gymnasium setup. And expectedly, it didn't do well. With the 2.5-inch speaker shooting straight up, it just wasn't going to fill the gym. If it had a downward-facing speaker, that helped some of the resonance come out, helped fill the area better. So it's not made for that, I know, but I just wish it had a little bit more to it. The software side of things, it's the white noise sounds. I'm glad it has it. You know, if that's something you really want, like it's built in. If you're in a pinch and you need to use it, use it. But if you want white noise and you're gonna put this by your bedside table or something like that, and you want white noise coming out of it, connect to it with your phone through Bluetooth and use whatever your music service you wanna use, Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, whatever that is, and play it through that. It sounds so much better. I just think Govee, for such a great product, they've got their Floor Lamp Pro also has a speaker in it and can do white noise sounds. Sadly, it's just, this sounds as bad as the speaker does in that, and it's not a JBL speaker by any means. And this isn't JBL's fault. It's just the sound recordings are just bad. Like, to me, it sounds like they recorded on a phone, speaker, microphone 10 years ago from across the room or something. It just isn't good. I'd like there to do something more high fidelity and clear sounding. It just doesn't come out in this. So those are my issues. It's $180. It's really neat. It's really cool. I really like it. I just wish those things were tightened up just a little bit more to really help it earn that price tag, in my opinion. But let's finish this thing up. So we got JBL doing the sound here. We got Govee with the lights and the design. So is it a $180 lamp, $180 Bluetooth speaker? Does it reach that if you combine the two together? Maybe for somebody. I'm not saying I don't recommend this. This is a really great device. If you can catch it on sale, definitely pick it up if they're into something like this. It's hard to justify the price depending on what you want to do with it. If you're into it for the sound, you're disappointed. For a table lamp, it's a really great look. It is a great looking technology table lamp that doesn't scream I'm technology. But Govee does have another table lamp. They just released their table lamp 2. I don't have that one. This is their first table lamp. This is the original Govee table lamp. The Govee table lamp 2 keeps this basic cylindrical shape. It's a little taller, and it's all clear plastic, even across the bottom. So it's got really cool effects with that, but you're gonna get the similar lighting. I'm not 100% up on all the specs for that, whether it's got the same number of lights on the inside to get the same level of light distribution. I'm not 100% on that, but see, there are other options. None that look like this though. This combines the two, and it's great having them together. The JBL speaker sounds good. It's better than the speaker in their floor lamp. It's probably almost as good as a regular Bluetooth speaker. I've got JBL's clip, little small speaker, and it sounds better than this. So I don't know, it's a toss up. I wouldn't get it for the sound. Getting it for the lamp's pretty cool. It's a great device. If you can pick it up on sale, I highly recommend it. I'll quit rambling about it. So JBL, Govee paired up to make the Table Lamp 2 Pro with JBL sound in it. Really cool product. I love that it's portable. I do wish it had a bag or like a handle or something with it since it is portable, but it's a really cool device. Definitely check it out. If you see it around, catch it on sale, definitely look at it. But really cool. So stick around. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that good stuff. I've got tons of new videos coming up. Another Govee light I got to do. It's a really, really cool lamp. I got robot lawnmowers. I've got robot vacuums. I've got more lights and other cool devices on the way that I want to show off to you guys. One last thing, disclaimer. If I do not say this is a sponsored video, it is not a sponsored video. Govee, I was sent this from Govee in the PR agency. They get no input on the video. They no input on how it is filmed, when it is produced, or any of that kind of stuff. Just want you to know that. So if you have any questions, send them in the comments. Look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks.
Okay, let's go.